I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. Well, it's getting close to that holiday time of the year and you want to start early and get prepared. So I'm going to show you how to make a really easy basket liner for your cookies, your breads, whatever you want to make. And you only have to cut out one piece of fabric and also a little bit of bias tape. So you don't have to worry about measuring each side and the bottom and getting them all stitched together. This is so easy and so quick, so let's get started. Here's the basket I'm going to use. Now this basket is taller than the other basket I showed you. It's not quite as wide, but it's got a lot of height to it. So here's how I recommend you measure it. And by the way, I never throw my old baskets out. I've had this for 20 years. You'll never know when you're going to need it. So I'm going to take a tape measure and I'm going to let it hang down by about 3 inches on the side. Holding the side, I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of the basket. And then put my other finger down there and go all the way across the bottom of the basket. Okay. And then I'm going to come back up to the side and go down about 3 inches. Now, this is kind of loose. It doesn't need to be exact right now. You're just kind of getting a sort of kind of maybe measurement, if that makes any sense. Then you're going to do the same thing. Because this is a rectangle, it's going to have different measurements. So hang it down 3 inches, go across the bottom of the basket, and over 3 inches. So mine came out to approximately 19 inches by 23. Now, it's not going to be a perfect fit because I kind of made it a little bit larger because I wanted something to work with. You're probably thinking, well, why are you wasting fabric? One of the things I like to do when I'm creating something is I usually buy really cheap fabric. Clearance table, they're practically giving it away because I'm usually going to use it to help me make my designs. So that's what this is, just really cheap plain fabric. So now that I've cut it out, I'm going to fold it in half. So bring up your edges like that, and then you're going to fold it again going the other way. So you're going to bring the other side together. So here you go. Now remember, it's not exact. This is just your sort of pretend one right now. So I want to round the corners. So I'm taking a bowl, a medium-sized bowl. You've all seen my bowl many times. So this is the same old bowl I've used for 5 years. And I'm going to round the corners. So I'm just going to use my rotary cutter and just kind of loosely go around it. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're just getting an idea of the size that you're going to need to cut. So then you just open it up. And let me set this aside. And I'm going to take the basket. Oh, and there's one thing I forgot to do. I'm going to fold it right back. So here we go. Fold it back. Fold it again. And then at this corner here, just finger press it or do a little thumbnail press. You want to put a crease in there because you want to figure out where the center is. So I'm going to open it back up, this time for sure. And I'm going to lay it over the top, and I'm going to put that little finger press crease right there in the middle. And I'm going to take my finger and go straight down. So I'm going to push down like this. Then I'm going to push down into the corners to see if it's too long or too short. So if you need to make adjustments, you can. You either cut some more off if you need to or start all over. Never throw the fabric away. I fold it up and put it back in my pile of fabrics that I use for designing, and I use it again and again and again. So once you've determined how big you want it and how much you want it to overhang the edges, then go ahead and cut your for real piece out. Here's a sample of bias tape. Now this is a 1/2 inch wide this way. When you open your package and you look at the bias tape, you want to take a close look because it's folded in a specific way. So I'm going to unfold this, all right? So the outer edges are folded in towards or near that center crease so that it looks like this. The outer edges are folded in. Then it's folded again. But you'll notice one side is not brought all the way over to the other side. And there's a specific reason for that. So when we're doing this little basket liner, it's important that the shorter side be on top. So you're going to insert your fabric in towards the center of the bias tape, bring the other side over, and you're going to stitch close to this edge right here. What's neat about the way they folded it is when you stitch down through that top layer, because the bottom layer is just a little bit wider, you're able to catch it. So you can do a nice stitch close to the edge here, and you don't have to worry about it not catching the bottom. Before you start putting the bias tape on, there's just one important thing that I really recommend you do, and that is at all four corners, you want to do little cuts, little slits. Don't make them deeper than a 1/2 inch, because remember your bias tape is a 1/2 inch. So you don't, I try not to go more than 1/4 of an inch, because you don't want to cut past that 1/2 inch, because then it might show when you start washing it. So go all the way around the corners at all four corners. Place the end of the bias tape in the middle on one side. It doesn't matter which side, just pick a side. And go ahead and wrap it around like that, and you're bringing the raw edge all the way up against the back of the bias tape, or where the fold is. And I would place a pin there just to hold it, so that when you put it up underneath your presser foot, it's going to hold it in place for you so that you can get started. Do not start here. Do not start here. You want to go down about 4 inches or so and begin stitching. So I started stitching right here and back stitch a little bit. And it's real easy going down the straight sides, but let me show you how to go around these corners. When you get to the corner, and I'm almost there, you want to go slow. You don't want to go too fast. All right, so I'm getting on that curve, so I'm going to line it up. Now you're not going to be able to just wrap it around like that. You have to do it slow. So stitch a little bit and then line it up some more. You kind of have to turn your liner fabric and stitch a little bit more. And you want to keep doing that till you get all the way around the corner. And open it up and kind of line some of it up. And the reason why we did those little clips is because your edge will curl up. So you might still get a little bit of curling, but not very much, as long as you do those little clips. And I've got a little bit more. And we're almost around that corner. And I'm going to go around just a little bit. I'm almost on the straightaway there. Okay, now I'm almost back to where I started. Let me just line this up a little better. And I'm going to go towards the spot that I started. But I'm not going to go all the way there. I'm going to stop short of where I started. And we do this so that it's easier to bring your ends together. So, because we want to close those ends up. So, almost there. So I'm going to stop right about here. So here's where I started. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm just going to do a couple of back stitches. Now, I don't need to do too many. And I'm going to cut my thread. All right, so now it looks like this. And I'm going to take some scissors. And I want to just cut, a little more than 1/4 of an inch because you're going to be stitching these ends together. So I'm just going to leave that one side pinned down so that it doesn't move around. And go ahead and cut it. And make sure you cut it straight. I'm going to unpin this side. And now you're going to open it up. And you're going to turn one of them face down. All right. And you want it completely unfolded at the end. Then you want to take the other one. Now fold your fabric in half. And now this one will easily just line up with the other one. And you're going to take them and then pin them together. After you've got them pinned, then you want to stitch 1/4 inch seam right along here. Once you've stitched the ends together, then finger press this seam open and then fold the bias tape back up like it was. And then place it back on the edge, over the edge of your fabric, and then finish stitching it down. After you've got the bias tape stitched on, then refold it again, okay, because we want to find the center, and because that's real important, otherwise it's going to look funny if you don't know where the center is. And then fold it again the other way, and then finger press, or nail press I should say, a little crease in there at the corner. And then take your basket and place that little crease over your center. I think I got it in the center there. And then take your finger and just go straight down and make adjustments, shuffle it around just a little bit, and then put your goodies inside of it. Do you know how hard it is to have cornbread and brioche buns sitting under your nose? It smells so good right now. I'm definitely gonna eat some of this real soon. But isn't this nice? This was really simple, really pretty. So you could take it as a hostess gift if you're invited to a holiday dinner. You want to bring some little goodies. You can get a pretty little basket, put a liner in it, put cookies, cakes, breads, whatever it is you want. But this is so good and it's really pretty. It will add a lot of color to your dining room table. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you try making one of these. It's really simple. And make sure you follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. And also, if you're interested in other basket liners, I have several other tutorials on it. Look below your YouTube screen, and also look for other holiday projects that we've got tutorials on. We have all kinds of them. So thank you so much for coming. See you next time, and happy sewing. And oh, this is good. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click on the thumbs up button. Don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, click on that red subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Don't forget to click on the bell. I'm Cheryl, and this is a lot of mayonnaise. See you next time, and happy sewing!